Surrounded by the beautiful Rocky Mountains, it's time to jump into winter. Hi, I'm Brenda Buglione and you're watching Snow Motion. We have a great show lined up for you this week. We were able to catch up with veteran Warren Miller athlete and extreme skier Chris Anthony. We'll take a ride up Vail Mountain and chat with the native Coloradan. We'll also introduce you to an exciting new event called Alpine Rock Fest. What is it? Stick around and we'll show you. Plus, if you're looking for a ski tip, I'm going to show you exactly how to hold your hands to be a better skier. All that and a whole lot more is coming your way. Stay tuned. You're watching Snow Motion.
Would it be easier if we had no shoes, no time to kill, and nothing to lose, and no worries but the great blue sky, and looking for shade when the sun gets high, or climbing up that coconut tree? If it's time for one of nature's treats, would it be easier?
Being 40 feet above the half pipe is insane. You see the crowd, you see the ground, you see the trees, flipping, twisting, somehow land on your feet. It's really the best feeling in the world. Some people say my style is effortless, but it's kind of my dirty secret that it really isn't. How are you going to take it from being good to being great? You have to train harder and go bigger. It's extra time on the slopes, falling, getting up and doing it again. It's the way I ski, the way I choose to express myself, and the way I live my life.
What we've done at Surefoot is really changed the way that you get ski boots.
The sun shines bright.
This boot is made for your foot. The difference is amazing. You'll ski better, they're better fitting, better skiing than anything you've ever experienced.
I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me. And life is good the way it should.
Snow Motion is brought to you by The New Mitch by Paul Mitchell. Style isn't born, it's groomed. And by Surefoot. Better fitting, better skiing. The chairlift is a great place to strike up a conversation. You can learn all sorts of interesting things. Today we had a chance to ride up the lift with Chris Anthony, and we found out what it's like to live the life of a professional skier. So this week's Chairlift Talk is with pro skier Chris Anthony. Hi Chris.
Howdy.
What makes Chris Anthony so extraordinary? He makes a living as a skier. Chris, how do you do that?
I'm been super passionate about the sport, just as you are, and we figure out ways to stay involved. And skiing, of course, grew up with it since I was a little kid because my parents loved it, and I just carried that passion onwards, and it's been a great catalyst to open up many doors, and a lot of those doors are like what Warren Miller once said, in search of the ultimate free lift ticket.
As a pro skier for Warren Miller in 23 films, all over the world. I mean, that must be so exciting.
Yeah, it's been a great treat. I mean, I grew up watching the films, so when I did get to be by chance in my first Warren Miller film, that was such an amazing dream come true for me that I just wanted to continue that. And I've just been trying to figure out ways to make that happen. And it's been about keeping my overhead low and just doing what I'm passionate about. And you can't do it for the money. Obviously, we have not been doing anything for the money. It's been about the mission of staying out here and being able to glide down the mountain. And I've literally been able to link one thing to the next. Doing the Warren Miller films allowed me to start my youth initiative project. If kids are listening to me, then parents like me and parents want to go on a trip with me, then I take them to one of the places that we went and filmed. So I have my travels and adventure packages that I put together. The coolest thing about skiing is that here we sit on chairlifts in an open environment, and you never know who you may be on that chairlift with. And you network and you meet, and it's all about putting the puzzle together to stay involved. And nobody's getting rich off of this sport, but it's It is a great lifestyle, and there was one of our mutual friends actually the other day was asking me, so why did you do that project? And you know, I can just tell he's doing the calculations in his head as far as the dollar signs, and I'm like, well, you just sometimes have to do things because it's the right thing, just to tell the story or just be part of it. And he literally had a really hard time understanding that, but it was all about when you get done doing something as joyful as what we're doing, a lot of people come together and they all smile. Ultimately, it's about hopefully getting another powder day.
Where's your favorite place that you've been? I mean, from all those, where'd you ski? China? Where were you? Where?
Yeah, you know, there's been so many experiences and it's hard to pick a favorite place, but it's easy to pick an amazing experience. And definitely one of the most amazing experiences was the trek we did from northeastern China into Mongolia. And it was by far the most difficult trek or film segment that I've done with the Warren Miller guys, but for sure it is stuck in my head as being one of the most rewarding. It's so unique, and what I got to experience, it wouldn't be something that I just ever go do, you know, on my own. We ended up going on this long trip, literally to the other side of the planet, and walking for 65, 70 miles in negative
Who can
20.
do that?
It was crazy, negative 20, 30 degrees. So it was like sort of the equivalent of walking from like Denver to Silverthorne, and with horses and in those negative temperatures, to find this tribe of Mongols, the Tua, which have been skiing as part of their culture. They've been skiing for some 5,000 years. And unlike like the Norwegians, the Scandinavians that started skiing, 14,000 years ago, the Tua actually are still skiing, but still on the primitive equipment that they have been for 5,000 years. So that's what made it really unique, was to find those guys somewhere up in the Altai Mountains. It's not like we could let them know we were coming either.
So did they ski for work or for transportation, for enjoyment?
You know, humans have adapted to their environment all over the planet, and these particular people, these Mongols, the Tua tribe, learned how to adapt to their environment, and which basically was surrounded by snow. So they created a lifestyle to be able to survive, and part of that survival was making themselves skis, which they did some 5,000 years ago, and they used it to move around through the environment during the winter, but also hunt. It made hunting quite easier. And they also enjoyed just basically sliding on snow, just like we do.
Like we do. Okay, we're at the top. Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely.
You learn a lot from Chris Anthony and all his adventures and his passion for the sport of skiing. Hey, stay tuned to Snow Motion. After the break, I'm going to give you a ski tip to make your day on the slopes even better.
Squaw Valley and Alpine Meadows have combined to offer 6,000 acres, 43 lifts, and 10 terrain parks in one amazing winter setting. Stay in the village at Squaw Valley, just steps from the lifts, and enjoy all that the North Lake Tahoe region has to offer. Squaw Valley and Alpine Meadows. Plan your extraordinary winter adventure.
Being 40 feet above the half pipe is insane. You see the crowd, you see the ground, you see the trees, flipping, twisting, somehow land on your feet. It's really the best feeling in the world. Some people say my style is effortless, but it's kind of my dirty secret that it really isn't. How are you going to take it from being good to being great? You have to train harder and go bigger. It's extra time on the slopes, falling, getting up and doing it again. It's the way I ski, the way I choose to express myself, and the way I live my life.
I'm here with Brett Anderson, the man who solved global warming. Brett, can you tell us how you did it?
Well, I was sitting with Taylor one day and I said, I bet this puppy's got enough love to power the entire world. And that's when it hit me. Use the endless love of puppies as renewable energy.
Amazing! How does it work?
Puppy love can't save the planet. You can. When you support 1% companies, you support the planet.
Your skis are attached to your feet, so what do your hands have to do with it? Actually, your hands are a crucial part of whether you slide or carve a turn. You want to be in the athletic position, which is shins forward, knees bent, and hands relaxed and in front. A common mistake many skiers make is that after they pole plant, they drop their hand. They plant and let the hand come back by their thigh. If I drop my hand, you can see how that makes my body lean into the hill and takes my chest out of the athletic position, but brings it looking towards the trees. You don't want to be looking at the woods, you want to be looking down the hill. I want to plant the pole and drive it forward. So when you turn, you plant and keep the hand forward. If I drop it, you can see that my edges will flatten out. If I keep my hand forward, I stay in a dynamic, edged position. So when I do it right, I plant the pole and I come forward. So remember, always keep your hands in front in the relaxed position. The men and women of the U.S. Ski and Snowboard team train day in and day out to compete against the best in the world. Oftentimes, we only see them with their helmets on and their goggles down. Let's cue up that athlete profile and take a closer look.
We came up to Fallon, Nevada, to the Navy base up here. We had an incredible opportunity to come up here and get in some fighter jets. Just in case.
So the idea with bringing Kelly and I here was that we live a similar lifestyle to what a lot of the fighter pilots, a lot of the sailors do on a daily basis. We're both constantly getting that adrenaline rush. We're seeking thrills.
They're gonna put Stacy Cook and myself in some F-18 fighters, and I'm sure it's gonna be a pretty wild ride. We started the day off meeting some servicemen and women that are out there serving our country, and it was just an amazing meet and greet and cool opportunity to kind of connect with the people on the base here.
From there we had lunch on the base and then went straight to flight training.
We had a condensed version since we're only going up for one flight, but all the same it was actually way more in depth than I had thought it was going to be. I was trying to compare, what it might be like to be in a plane, with snowboarding, with being on roller coasters, and after the flight training today, I just don't think it's comparable. Once we got up there, I felt really comfortable, and you don't realize how graceful those planes are. We were flying with an F-16 next to us, and I was in the F-18, and it was like the acrobatics that they can do and the maneuvering that they can do is it's pretty unreal.
There was a few times in the air where we would just chit chat, and he would ask about my sport and I would ask about what he does. And so that was pretty cool to really have that time. We were in the middle of nowhere for a while, and then we were doing like a scenic tour through places that I knew, and so I'd be like, oh, that's this lake, or that's this mountain, and so it was cool for him to kind of identify that through my knowledge too.
I was amazed at how physically demanding it was just sitting in a seat in the plane. It's, you're constantly having to be aware of what's going on around you, focusing on your breathing, making sure that, you're not getting disoriented. You basically have to pay attention all the time. It was really enjoyable for me, and I don't know, I can't compare it to any other experience I've had.
It's good to work with people that are pursuing their dreams and doing great work representing our country, really.
You can always stay connected to Snow Motion. Go to snow-motion.com. When we come back, I'm going to introduce you to a unique and exciting event that combines skiing and music. What is it? Stick around and I'll show you. You're watching Snow Motion.
Howdy folks, and welcome to Gadgets and Gear with Greg. Today I've got some really cool winter touchscreen gloves from A-Gloves, a local company based right in Boulder. Now you might remember from high school science class that AG is the symbol for silver on the periodic table of elements. What you might not know, however, is that silver is the most conductive metal on the planet, which plays pretty heavily into A-Gloves' amazing touchscreen technology. Now, most touchscreens work by reading the little electrical signals in your fingertips that your body produces. Most gloves don't work with touchscreens because they can't let those signals pass through. But what A-Gloves have done is they've taken silver threading and woven it through the entire fabric of the glove, making your entire glove conductive and touchscreen capable, just like your hand. Now, I got really excited when I put these on for the first time. These are the best touchscreen gloves I've ever used. There's no more having to freeze your hands when you're on the lift just to send a text or check your Epic Mix stats. You can scroll, zoom, and text just like you would barehanded, unrestricted in every sense of the word. They've got a few different styles of A-Gloves available, from the lightweight natural ones to the new Grip Touch models that I'm rocking now with these little added grip dots to help you hold on to your tech. And you can find them online right now at agloves.com. I totally recommend picking up 1 or 2 pairs of these things. They're absolutely great. So guys, I'm Greg Elliott. This has been Gadgets and Gear. These are A-Gloves, and I'll see you next time.
What we've done at Surefoot is really changed the way that you get ski boots.
The sun shines bright.
This boot is made for your foot. The difference is amazing. You'll ski better. They're better fitting, better skiing than anything you've ever experienced.
I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me. And life is good the way it should.
Squaw Valley and Alpine Meadows have combined to offer 6,000 acres, 43 lifts, and 10 terrain parks in one amazing winter setting. Stay in the village at Squaw Valley, just steps from the lifts, and enjoy all that the North Lake Tahoe region has to offer. Squaw Valley and Alpine Meadows, plan your extraordinary winter adventure.
I'm here with Brett Anderson, the man who solved global warming. Brett, can you tell us how you did it?
Well, I was sitting with Taylor one day and I said, you know, I bet this puppy's got enough love to power the entire world. And that's when it hit me. Use the endless love of puppies as renewable energy.
Amazing! How does it work?
Puppy love can't save the planet. You can. When you support 1% companies, you support the planet.
Snow Motion is brought to you by Vocal, believe in the power of engineering. And by Smith Optics, we make the great days better. Welcome back to Snow Motion. Often in competitive skiing, athletes are focused on the run they are about to take. If they lose that intensity for 1 second, it's over. But at the Alpine Rock Fest, it's a little different. It's a fun yet competitive ski race with some of the best skiers in the world. Skiing and music. It's the Alpine Rock Fest.
Here we are at the Alpine Rock Fest pre-party. And this is a meet and greet with media, a time for the athletes to socialize. We got some of the best guys in the world: Axel Lund-Svindal, overall World Cup champ, Olympic champion; Ted Ligety, multiple GS champion and Olympic champion; and Cyprien Richard, who was on the podium at the World Championships and has won the World Alpine Rock Fest. And we got a lot more coming at you.
The idea of the Alpine Rock Fest is that we wanted to do something different from a regular World Cup with point and stress and of course World Championship that you need to win a medal and stuff like this. So we thought about an event that is more fun, but at the same time is a race. The format is like a knockout format with the best skier in the world. I think the Alpine Rock Fest is important for the best skier in the world because of the format first, and also because they're gonna enjoy the Rock Fest as a big party, as a big concert. It's not only racing, but it's also enjoying the party, enjoying the food, and enjoying, of course, Italy and Trentino, of course.
I think it's really neat how at the Alpine Rock Fest you have a different format. It's multiple runs. It's not just 2 runs like you have in a World Cup. It's a shortened course, so you can really attack hard. You don't have to really, I mean, not that you conserve energy in World Cups, but it's a lot more racing, and it's really cool. You have a big jump over the car as well, so I think it's a neat, relaxed atmosphere versus the World Cups.
You can't really have a tactical approach because there's too many good racers. If this was a race where there was like 1 or 2 really good guys and the rest were, you know, not competitive, then you could be tactical, but that's not possible.
I think when the course is shorter like this, you really have to charge all that much harder just because somebody is going to be out there and charge and put together a lucky run and going to be super fast. So I think it's the kind of thing you just have to hammer every run, and you can't think about it too much tactically because there's not a ton to this hill tactically other than just kind of coming around the dog leg, but it's a fun hill. It's a hill you can really attack.
I think the one tactic is pin it. You have to go with as much intensity as you have. You've got to take everything in your body to just send it down the hill, because if you don't do that, there's a good chance you're not going to make it to the next round.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing when it's this short, you make one little mistake and it's over with. So that's a bummer, but it's how it goes, I guess, sometimes, and it's cool that, you know, somebody else won it. So, you know, I'm really glad it's not in the World Cup, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's always exciting here to get to the final, because then you know it's that one run and the winner takes everything. And yeah, didn't work the way I wanted to, but I'm still happy. It's a good day. It's a fun race.
The dream come true. I'm very happy. This morning I don't imagine that I have the possibility to win, and after now it's unbelievable. I try to push hard every run, and I'm here with this trophy, with the prize money. I'm very happy.
The men and women of the U.S. ski and snowboard team train day in and day out to compete against the best in the world. We only often see them with their helmets on and their goggles down. Let's cue up that athlete profile and take a closer look.
All right, last year I took you guys duck hunting. This year, going golfing. I know, 2 total opposites, but you know, I'm across the board. I really know nothing about golfing. But that's why I brought Greg along, because he knows some stuff about golfing. When you hit someone, you know, I take your cart privileges away, and I hit someone next. Okay. Okay, it's my turn to hit someone, okay? I will tell you, there is a pond right up here, and I definitely saw some ducks in there. It's out of season, unfortunately. I'm telling you, look at them. Boom.
In the hole, baby.
Yeah! You'll see here in about 4 seconds when I hit this thing, I'm gonna smoke it into the woods, and I'm gonna be yelling, screaming, throwing my clubs, trying to calm myself down for the next shot. I like also looking for balls in the woods. It's like an Easter egg hunt. Okay, seriously, guys. All right, you know what? This is my profile piece. I don't need you two here. Whose phone is that? Whose phone is that?
Come on, Ryder Train. Come on.
Okay, so we had a very intense game of golf. It was really fun. We shot all pretty good. Mellow 27 holes. I think we're all a little tired. We're ready to get back to government camp. All in all, a success. We all had fun, and we didn't get struck by lightning, so that's pretty huge in my book. Pretty excited.
Thanks for joining me on Snow Motion. We had a lot of fun, and I hope it motivates you to get out there and hit the slopes. I'm Brenda Buglione. We'll see you next week on Snow Motion.
Would it be easier if we had no shoes, no time to kill, and nothing to lose, and no worries but the great blue sky, and looking for shade when the sun gets high, we're climbing up that coconut tree. If it's time for one of nature's treats, would it be